Respiratory system. Nose. Nose. Nostril. Nostril. Nasal septum. Nasal septum. Cilia. Cilia. Mucous membrane. Mucous membrane. Mucus. Mucus. Tonsil. Tonsil. Palatine tonsil. Palatine tonsil. Pharyngeal tonsil. Pharyngeal tonsil. Lingual tonsil. Lingual tonsil. Paranasal sinus. Paranasal sinus. Frontal sinus. Frontal sinus. Sphenoid sinus. Sphenoid sinus. Maxillary sinus. Maxillary sinus. Ethmoid sinus. Ethmoid sinus. Pharynx. Pharynx. Nasopharynx. Nasopharynx. Oropharynx. Oropharynx. Laryngopharynx. Laryngopharynx. Larynx. Larynx. Thyroid cartilage. Thyroid cartilage. Vocal cord. Vocal cord. Epiglottis. Epiglottis. Trachea. Trachea. Bronchus. Bronchus. Alveolus. Alveolus. Lung. Lung. Mediastinum. Mediastinum. Pleura. Pleura. Parietal pleura. Parietal pleura. Visceral pleura. Visceral pleura. Pleural cavity. Pleural cavity. Diaphragm. Diaphragm. Respiration. Respiration. Breathing. Breathing. Inhalation. Inhalation. Exhalation. Exhalation. External respiration. External respiration. Internal respiration. Internal respiration. Anatomic dead space. Anatomic dead space. Apnea. Apnea. Aspiration. Aspiration. Dyspnea. Dyspnea. Orthopnea. Orthopnea. Tachypnea. Tachypnea. Cheyne-Stokes respiration. Cheyne-Stokes respiration. Rall. Rall. Rhonchus. Rhonchus. Stridor. Stridor. Wheeze. Wheeze. Asphyxia. Asphyxia. Cyanosis. Cyanosis. Epistaxis. Epistaxis. Hemoptysis. Hemoptysis. Hypoxia. Hypoxia. Hypoxemia. Hypoxemia. Hypercapnia. Hypercapnia. Hyperventilation. Hyperventilation. Hypoventilation. Hypoventilation. Upper respiratory infection. Upper respiratory infection. Sinusitis. Sinusitis. Pharyngitis. Pharyngitis. Subcutaneous emphysema. Subcutaneous emphysema. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Chronic bronchitis. Chronic bronchitis. Emphysema. Emphysema. Asthma. Asthma. Pleural effusion. Pleural effusion. Pyothorax. Pyothorax. Empyema. Empyema. Hemothorax. Hemothorax. Pneumothorax. Pneumothorax. Acute respiratory distress syndrome. Acute respiratory distress syndrome. Atelectasis. Atelectasis. collapsed lung, collapsed lung. Pulmonary edema, pulmonary edema. Pulmonary embolism, pulmonary embolism. Tuberculosis, tuberculosis. Lung cancer, lung cancer. Bronchoscopy, bronchoscopy. Chest X-ray, chest X-ray. Laryngoscopy, laryngoscopy. Pulmonary function test, pulmonary function test. Spirometry, spirometry. Vital capacity, vital capacity. Tidal volume, tidal volume. Residual volume, residual volume. Inspiratory capacity, inspiratory capacity. Inspiratory reserve volume, inspiratory reserve volume. Expiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume. Functional residual capacity, functional residual capacity. Total lung capacity, total lung capacity. Forced vital capacity, forced vital capacity. Forced expired volume in 1 second, forced expired volume in 1 second. Arterial blood gas analysis, arterial blood gas analysis. Saturation of percutaneous oxygen, saturation of percutaneous oxygen. Power of hydrogen, power of hydrogen. Partial pressure of oxygen arterial blood, partial pressure of oxygen arterial blood. Partial pressure of carbon arterial blood, partial pressure of carbon arterial blood. Oxygen saturation of arterial blood, oxygen saturation of arterial blood. Fraction of inspired oxygen, fraction of inspired oxygen. Total carbon dioxide, total carbon dioxide. Bicarbonate, bicarbonate. Base excess, base excess. Interferon gamma release assay, interferon gamma release assay. Thoracotomy, thoracotomy. Tracheotomy, tracheotomy. Thoracentesis, thoracentesis. Pneumonectomy, pneumonectomy. Wedge resection, wedge resection. Segmental resection, segmental resection. Lobectomy, lobectomy. Tonsillectomy, tonsillectomy. Video-assisted thoracoscopic surgery, video-assisted thoracoscopic surgery. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Continuous positive airway pressure, continuous positive airway pressure. Endotracheal intubation, endotracheal intubation. Supplemental oxygen therapy, supplemental oxygen therapy. Nasal cannula, nasal cannula. Partial rebreathing mask, partial rebreathing mask. Non-rebreathing mask, non-rebreathing mask. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, hyperbaric oxygen therapy. Nebulizer, nebulizer. Antitussive, antitussive. Antibiotic, antibiotic. Anticoagulant, anticoagulant. Antihistamine, antihistamine. Bronchodilator, bronchodilator. Histamine, histamine.